Deep in the Cuyuni-Mazaruni rainforest, the Aurora Gold Mine once depended entirely on diesel generators to power every corner of its operation. But today, the site is shifting fast towards a low-carbon future. AGM's dual carbon strategy is driving the change, a multi-phase rollout of large-scale solar farms that are beginning to replace the mine's reliance on fossil fuel. Management says the expansion is designed to match the mine's growing energy demands as production targets rise to 10,000 tons of ore processed per day. Health, Safety and Environment Deputy Manager Aurora Thomas has seen the change on the ground.
Before we used to use diesel, we had diesel generators, but because of the expansion, we have expanded our operation. Before our output was less than what we have now. Now we're working towards 10,000 tons of ore processing, 10,000 tons of ore per day. So with that, there was a need for us to increase on our generating capacity.
Thomas says as the mine expanded, adding new ball mills, new machinery and more workers, energy needs soared. Relying solely on diesel was no longer sustainable.
Objective is to bring costs, to cut on operation costs as it relates to energy. So the introduction of the solar farm would have helped us with that. So it's less generators we use.
To date, AGM Inc. has completed two major phases of its solar build-out. A 3-megawatt farm commissioned in 2023 produces an estimated 1.74 million kilowatt hours each year, removing about 2,757 tons of CO2 from the atmosphere. A second, much larger 15.27 megawatt installation followed in 2024, offsetting more than 6,000 tons of diesel fuel annually. That's the equivalent of avoiding over 16,000 tons of CO2 emissions and saving the company nearly US 1.7 million a year in fuel costs. And AGM isn't stopping there. The company plans to reach 45 megawatts by 2026 and an ambitious 90 megawatts by 2027, pushing total solar production to more than 123 million kilowatt hours each year. If achieved, AGM expects to slash its carbon footprint by more than 85%, cutting upward of 100,000 tons of CO2 annually. AGM has been deploying its solar farms on already disturbed areas within the concession, avoiding new land clearing while boosting energy security and long-term savings. For engineers, technicians, and project managers at Aurora, this isn't just a technical shift, it's a culture change.
Environmental responsibility governance. We have our parent companies they have that program in place, and so we have now introduced that into our system, and so the solar farm is part of that as it relates to carbon emission and so on. In terms of our responsibility, in terms of ensure that we have a low emission of carbon into the environment.
AGM's transition is happening as Guyana pushes for more renewable energy across all sectors. Large private sector projects like this one help reduce dependence on imported fuel and strengthen national climate resilience goals. For the newsroom, Kurt Campbell.